Yo, it is your boy Tay to the Fresh out here. I attempted to do a stream last night with some older games, some classic games. It didn't come out exactly how I wanted it to sound or look or feel, so we'll continue to work on that. We learn. So, as a consolation prize in exchange, I'm gonna give you this video. We're Wednesday afternoon, when you'll be likely seeing this as I'm doing this before Dynamite tonight, AEW Dynamite. I figured I'd do a little honest review of Revolution 2021. AEW Revolution 2021. I thought, overall, and even sitting on it the last few days, I would say that I still feel the same way I felt the night I watched the show, Sunday night. If I were to grade it, I'll go out, I switch sometimes out of 5 or out of 10 on a scale. I like going out of 10. It gives more room to, kind of weed out too much negativity or not overpraise. So, out of 10 on the TF scale, I'm going to go with a solid 7.5 out of 10. Wasn't a perfect show. We know what went wrong. We know what went right. So, and when I do this little mini review here, I'm going to toss in maybe a little direction I would like to see things go in terms of some stories, or what I would like to see in. I'm not going to harp on anything negative too much. Just what I would like to see differently happen, or what I would like to see kind of escalate from here, and what I think may have went wrong, or how it could be corrected, or something of that nature. But anyway, like I said, I'm not gonna bore you with the BS. I'm just gonna keep going here and just go through the card that I got pulled up here about everything that happened. Like, I'm giving you my straight, distinct thoughts about what I saw. And just because I don't give that much on it doesn't mean I don't care. It just means maybe not as much as other things, or I'm either okay with it, or I would like to see this. But I'm gonna tell you now. We'll start with the pre-show. I'm gonna put some respect on Riho, Thunder Rosa, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Maki Ito's names. I will put respect on their names. I thought the buy-in match. I thought she was a great surprise, obviously, and that the buy-in match was a solid match there. I would say it was pretty solid, and I see this is all leading to a 6-person tag that we're gonna see tonight, 6-woman tag tonight. I mean, I'm trying to think of a better way to put it. Where I would like to see, like, even going back to the eliminator tournament, which I thought the championship match was really good in terms of the physicality, and the passion was there, obviously. You could see it. And I just don't like how the tournament was structured to lead to all this. I don't mean to lump the women into one thing, but it's kind of making me go to it right now. But I'm thinking back to the tournament, not necessarily the title match at Revolution. But I don't like how the tournament was structured. Even just the American side of the tournament, I don't like how it was structured, because I think it wasn't designed to make anybody look good outside of Nyla Rose, who's already kind of established, since she's been champion already. I don't know what that did for anybody else. It's not like it just benefited Nyla Rose and nobody else from the other side. Like, I know Anna Jay went down with injury, get well soon, and they had to make a last-minute replacement. And, I don't know what their roster looked like at that particular moment, so I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say what they should have did in that particular scenario. I wasn't there, but what I will say is that even structurally putting Taikati against Naira, I just didn't like that matchup initially for that to lead to that, because it just, I don't know. I ended up seeing highlights of that. That was a good one too. I feel like it just showcased Nyla Rose, to get Rio over. I don't know, because I just think it could be used to get somebody else a little more shine. Because it's only been shining Tay Conti for weeks just for that. It seems odd to me, but. And of course, Britt ended up getting just a squash match. And then she lost to Nyla. I mean, it didn't do much for Britt either because she didn't fight somebody on basically on NJ's level in terms of reputation. So it kind of didn't help her either, just for her to get beat. It felt like she was only there for one round. You know, so. Then Rosa beating Riho. That was fine. But, yeah, I don't know, it just sounded different. But anyway, to go into Double or Nothing for me, I think you should put the title on Britt Baker. I think she should win the championship leading up to this pay-per-view. And I would go a triple threat match between Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, and Hikaru Shida. And I would have Britt. Either I would put the title on Britt leading into the pay-per-view, or I would set up a triple threat at Double or Nothing with Thunder Rosa, Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, and have Shida steal the title. I would have her pin Shida to do it. Or you can go the other way and have her pin Thunder Rosa. Because Shida can still have some unfinished business with her to extend their feud a bit. Just give her, a cheap win there. And I think you can really just run with her being champion at this point. I think that would be the most helpful situation they could do. And I think that would be a good way to go. I think the next champion needs to be Britt Baker. It has to be. It'll be better than what they're doing. She has the most character in their division. This might run a little long because I'm just going off my thoughts here. The Casino Tag Team Royale. It's impossible to call all the action in this match. I absolutely enjoyed it. I don't know why that's coming up on this card here because I know the tag team title match was before this. Let's rewind that. Let's go right to the tag. I don't know what order this card is in. I'm not sure why they did that. I know the tag team title match opened the show. It was never in doubt to me that the Bucks were losing those belts, and I feel like they really tried hard to put heat on this feud within the last 2 weeks. So I think I just didn't care much for it because it was built too late. It's like they wanted to escalate it into personal territory with 2 weeks to go. Like almost out of thin air, really. It was a good match. It was just hard to care. If that makes any sense. It was ultimately a good match. I just never thought MJF and Jericho were gonna win. That's just me. And with their storyline with the whole Inner Circle, it feels like it's been on a treadmill for maybe the last 3-4 weeks. Maybe the last month and a half, possibly. I kind of wish things would move along a little bit. I thought there was going to be some escalation with Sammy Guevara at the pay-per-view. Didn't get that. But maybe tonight, with their War Council deal, maybe that will, that'll turn some heads. There'll be some big developments there, hopefully. Like kicking somebody out or some development. That needs to happen tonight. Because, I think a few people would say a lot of things didn't happen at this show, too. So I think they need to some shit needs to go down tonight. Because a lot of shit did not go down at this show, and I think it's a fault of the way it was structured because there was no title changes, and all of the title matches were fairly predictable in terms of who won and who lost. So I think when that situation comes up, when you have a show like this, you're gonna need a big hook to the show. You're gonna need something big to happen, so people won't have to just talk about this person kept their title, this person kept their belt, this person kept their belt. You need something else to happen. So I think that's what this pay-per-view is missing to me. But like I said, the tag team titles, I didn't think were in doubt. I really didn't. And hopefully there's some escalation tonight on Dynamite for that. If I'm going on now to the Casino Tag Team Royale. Pac and Ray Phoenix ended up getting the W. I thought the second half of the match was really good and paced really well. The first half was a bit slow to me, but I guess that kind of could just depend on who was there and who you think was gonna win. So I guess it was kind of a match you were just waiting for it to pick up. I would go that far. So it was a match you were waiting on to pick up. It was fine to me. I liked the second half a lot more than the first half. And Pac kind of having a showdown with John Silver, I thought was pretty unique and good. Since they're two really built dudes, and I was like, man, I've never seen them in the ring together on this stage, so that was interesting. So I thought that was probably one of the best parts of the match too. And as we move on, Miro and Kip against best friends Cassie and Chuck Taylor. I did appreciate how they tried to differentiate this from other tag matches on the show. It was never in doubt Miro was going to win this. So, I mean, it is what it is. I think they need to hurry up and get him out of this alliance with Kip here. It feels like it's just inevitable when that alliance is going to blow up, because Miro's going to want to move on, or, he's just going to snap. So I feel like that's coming, but I feel like it needs to come sooner rather than later, because I feel like he's been kind of just spinning his wheels with this stuff lately. Cassidy, I'll just be interested to see what he moves on to do. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what he moves on to do. And things will open up there. Face of the Revolution ladder match. I don't know what order this is in. I'm just kind of reading off the paper now. I'm reading off the screen here. The ladder match, I'm gonna admit, I wasn't crazy about the ladder match. You would think I would have criticisms about who won the ladder match. Scorpio Sky winning this ladder match, in theory, I don't have an issue with. The problem I have with it is he won this match completely cold, with really no build at all. That's why I don't think many people are crazy about him winning this match. We'll see what he does tonight against Darby in the TNT title match. He's a good wrestler, but Scorpio can go, but he's in dire need of a character change or some kind of character overhaul or something. I just kept thinking maybe a valet, somebody that somebody he can bounce off of, that can bounce off of him, that can kind of speak more than he speaks. He needs something. Like, there's definitely something missing there. He's got the ability, but I think he needs to do something with his look to update it. Something with a manager, valet, some kind of deal there. Then we can see what we got. I don't know if a heel turn is the answer for him necessarily. I don't think turning him heel or babyface is the problem. It's just an overall character thing to me, from what I've seen him do since Dynamite has become a thing. I think it's a character thing with Scorpio Sky, but we'll see. I don't think he's winning the title match tonight, but I mean, I think it'll be a good match, obviously. But I just think it's a character thing with him, and they gotta work on that a lot. Because they keep pushing him to this point, he'll get a TNT title match or some kind of title match or a big time shot and spotlight, and I wouldn't say he comes up short, but then he suddenly just doesn't look important anymore. So I don't know necessarily whose fault that is, but that's just what I've been getting. You notice I didn't comment on the actual ladder match because I didn't think it was that great. Mostly, I think because of just who was in the match. I know they debuted Ethan Page. I think, like I said, I don't know anything about him to really, say, oh, he sucks. No, I'm not going to say that. I don't know anything about him to form an opinion yet. But I think a ladder match, I don't think he's that kind of wrestler that's going to excite you with, oh my God, all these other moves and, the passion of a ladder match. I just don't think it was the right match to debut him in. Somebody like him. I feel like he can win you over in the ring, maybe with some more character work from the little I've seen of him. But I think it's the wrong match to bring him in because, I mean, I can't remember any spot or any part of that match where he had like some big moment. So that tells you that wasn't the right match to bring him in. Penta was fine. But man, this match could have used some Phoenix for sure. For better or for worse, this match could have used some Phoenix. But yeah, it wasn't the right combination of people to have a ladder match. It just wasn't. It was too many guys that don't fly in the match. Like the closest HOI flyer in this match was Penta. That's it. It really was nobody else. I mean, Sky didn't really have any spots either. I mean, and you know, him coming off that meniscus, like I'm not expecting him to do something crazy in a ladder match the second he comes back. Like, you think this man's trying to go right back on IR just because it's a ladder match? Or, like, I don't know. I mean, maybe, but you know, I just didn't think it was the right match to bring him back either. I don't know. It was just a lot of guys in a ladder match that probably shouldn't be in a ladder match. And Cody with the shoulder, like, what was he gonna do? I knew he was gonna take a bumper or a few, but that's about it. I don't know, but that aside, big money match. Paige and Matt Hardy. I think we know who Hangman was being built up to face, and of course that's unfortunate, obviously. But I think Matt did really, really good in this match. This is the best I think he's looked in AEW, easily. Just because he's really diving into that big money character, diving into just even the little things, and having a game plan against somebody like Heyman, attacking the hand and, you know, working on the hand and the fingers and all that stuff. I mean, I know it's cliche stuff, regular, you know, old school wrestling stuff, but it's like he really had a game plan instead of just wrestling a match. So it was never in doubt to me about Hangman losing this match, but it was good for what it was. I mean, on surface, you know, big money match, it was just a match, we know. But, you know, they can play off the repercussions and everything in future weeks, like tonight and all that stuff. So that'll be fine. I ain't got an issue with all that. It was a nice, solid match. Really nothing else. Nice moment with Paige, hugging with Dark Order after. That was a cool moment. And we'll see where they go from there. But I like that they say he's not joining them. He's just aligned with them. Like, he wants to stay on his own too, but he's with them. You know. He's got their back, they got his back. They're not officially saying, we're a whole group. So, yeah, it's not cliche completely, so that's fine with me. I already kind of commented on the Women's World Title match. What I will say is that it was a solid match. I liked it. I liked what was there. You know, Shida and Rhea Mizunami. I just wish I could really care. To the point where, you know, talking about Mizunami, like they had maybe like 2 weeks to really build up. We just couldn't care about her in time. Like, it's hard to do that. It's really, really hard to rush a build like that. So, I mean, I get the premise of the whole tournament, but the tournament just for Shida to win is kind of like, you know, I get it. I get what they're trying to do, just spotlight, showcase more women. I just couldn't care. Like, I never thought Shida was losing when it came down to this, because Real just wasn't built up enough for that, in my opinion. They need to get that belt on Britt Baker. I love Hikaru Shida, but they gotta start doing something different here with the women. I know they got a few injuries, but some people gotta start getting some opportunities here. Some different people. And the right people. On to matter of fact, not the main event yet. I do want to comment. Christian Cage is now in AEW. A vet. Hall of Fame worthy caliber. Type of talent there. And I know he's gonna help them in more ways than one. Not just in the ring, outside the ring, with his mind, his knowledge, wisdom, and experience. He's going to help them, along with Paul White as well. Now, in short, what do I think about Christian Cage arriving to AEW? I think it is a great get for them. I do. There was a lot of hype, overhype, absolutely, for about what this announcement was going to be prior to his arrival. My thoughts about this will fall into line here. I saw the Unrestricted podcast where Tony Khan himself used the words huge star. The quote of that, a major star. And he kind of kept harping on that. I think the less he would have talked about it, the less overhyped there would have been. I'm not absolving people overhyping themselves up for disappointment, because people did overhype themselves up for disappointment. But TK himself isn't innocent in not contributing to overhyping this. If he would have kept passing it off to, this is Paul White's announcement, or selected better words, like, he's a veteran, he's a Hall of Fame worthy talent, like basically what Paul White said. He's going to help us. He's a home run signing for us. He's going to help us inside the ring, outside the ring, and in so many other ways. He's a guy I know is going to come to work. He still has something. Any verbiage I just used right there would have been perfect to describe Christian Cage. But he was absolutely overhyped. And also, my personal opinion, if he was an absolute surprise, like on the buy-in, or you just saw something going around on Twitter or on the internet that said, oh, they're going to have a secret signing tonight, or Paul White tweeted it out, like, oh, they're going to have a big surprise signing, and it happened to be Christian Cage, I think this would have been received even better than it actually was. But after the fact, like I said, it being Christian Cage, what do I think about it? I think it's a great signing. I just think their execution of hyping it up for 3 or 4 days going into Sunday, the execution I did not like. I did not like that, because as a result of this, as a result of how overhyped this was, people are going to be hesitant to trust you the next time you have one of these big announcements, when it's going to lead to something like this. People are going to be hesitant to order your pay-per-view, hesitant to watch your show because of that. Rightfully or wrongfully, I'm telling you the truth. Telling you the absolute truth right now. But it was a great signing. Execution, not so much. Execution, like a D-. The result, I'll give it a B+ or an A. Absolutely. Christian Cage will help them. Christian Cage will help AEW. Paul White will help AEW in ways that can help them. That's what I want to say on that. Now, moving on to the main event, which I'm not going to take very long to acknowledge, because we all know what the hell went wrong. We know. At the very end of the show. Now, let's go to the barbed wire death match itself. The exploding barbed wire death match itself, because it doesn't deserve to be overlooked because of some shit that went wrong. The match itself, very brutal. It was a bit shorter than I thought it would be, but at the same time, the brutality of what they were doing made it felt like the match was going on forever. Not in a bad way, but just like, man, this looks agonizing to actually do. And this is all I'm going to say. I mean, we knew Kenny was retaining, but this is what I would say to put a bow on this entire show for the aftermath and everything. I think when you have talkers of the level of Jon Moxley, if anybody saw exclusively what he said after the show, Kenny can't build a ring worth of shit, all that stuff. That's the benefit of having a master on the microphone, to at least spin the worst situation into something tangible, incredible. And I think AEW kind of lucked up into having that segment with Omega building stuff and hitting it with a hammer, like he was building the ring himself or building the structures or having something to do with the equipment of the match. I think they kind of saved themselves with that promo unintentionally, so if something went wrong, they could just point right to that. Or maybe they were playing it. Maybe they used that promo on purpose. Phone went out for a second, but we back on. I'm just gonna wrap up my thoughts right now and just say this. Maybe, just maybe, they kind of plan for that to happen. I don't know. As like a little plan B, backup plan type of deal there, where if this goes wrong, they can just point to that. But anyway, like I said, if you have somebody on the level of a Jon Moxley or Eddie Kingston, they'll make it right. Even tonight they may do so. They'll make it make sense. And to put an absolute bow on this show, like I said, I was going to give it after I saw it, I was thinking 7. I never thought 8. Met in the middle, 7.5. So 7.5 out of 10 is what I would give Revolution 2021. But what I will also say is that through anything AEW's messed up on in their existence, I personally think that, and on top of that as well, I think there should be a pay-per-view between Double or Nothing and All Out in the summertime. But I don't own AEW. This ain't my business. Moving on. What I will say though, anytime AEW has a mess up, a botch or something, organically, because they have freedom there to shift things as characters and stories, they'll find a way to make it make sense. They'll pivot in the right direction and actually make this entertaining, unlike some other places. But like I said, anytime they mess up or have a botch, they find a way to bounce back. And I expect them to bounce back tonight. I think they're going to over-deliver tonight. I think they're going to go out of their way to bounce back tonight, because they know everybody's talking about the lack of explosion at the end of the show. They know everybody's going to be talking about that. They're going to be the butt of every joke for the next, God knows how long, until the next thing some company messes up on. But even before their next mess up or another company's next mess up. Botchamania, whatever you want to call it. It's going to be everywhere. You just take that L, move on, you pivot into better stuff, make the best of what you got, and keep making great TV, because there ain't a lot of it these days. So I predict they will. I think they'll do great. They're going to continue doing great things with their acquisitions. The acquisitions are going to get bigger and bigger, I think. They would be fine. I know I left out the street fight with Darby, Sting against Team Taz. I thought, as a cinematic spectacle there, I thought it was very well done. It looked brutal. It looked awesome, all in the same time. I can't believe I also got to talk about the TNT title match. It was a very good match. I liked the brutality. I liked the way it was shot. I personally liked the commentary over the dramatic effect kind of way they were going with it. I thought it turned out really well for them. Sting looked like $1 million. Darby looked like $1 million. Team Taz looked like $1 million. Cage looked like a monster. Starks looked like a beast. I have nothing but good words to say about that street fight. I thought it was good stuff. It'll be interesting to see what everybody outside Darby move on to, since we know Darby has a title match tonight, Wednesday night. So it should be fun to see. I hope y'all enjoyed my thoughts on this show. I had fun talking about it. If you want to see more content like this in the future involving specifically AEW, but reviewing other things, whether it's a video game, a wrestling event, a classic old school wrestling event, just want to get my thoughts on it, it'll probably be a quicker video. But I just wanted to give my absolute off the dome, off the brain thoughts about it. Had a good time talking about it. I hope you loved watching it. See you soon on the next one. It's your boy TAEFRESH in the flesh. I have a new phrase. Peace out, y'all. Take care. Love and positivity.